What's up, everybody? Okay. All right, I think we're good. So, hi, everybody. This is April with astrolada.com, and I'm doing a weekly horoscope for you guys. And I am going to be covering the new moon in Taurus this time. So, just making sure that everything is good with being live. Yeah, okay. So let me know in the chat if you guys can see me and hear me okay. Okay, good. Hey guys, yeah, good morning. Okay, so I'm going to be covering the new moon in Taurus for all the signs, and also talk just a little bit about what else is going on this week. So from May 3rd to May 10th, what are the main energies? What are the main transits? Um, I don't have a celebrity topic. Sorry, a celebrity topic this time. I've had an extremely long day. I've, you know, had very little sleep, had so much going on, good things and crazy other bad things. But so I'm just going to, still show up and make sure that I give you guys my insights into the new moon in Taurus. As a lot of you guys know, my sun sign is Taurus. So, I definitely know what that energy is about. So, I'll definitely let you guys know what it means for all of you to have some newness in the realm of Venusian Taurian energy. Okay, so that's pretty much the first thing that is going on in the week that I'm covering is the new moon in Taurus, but I'll wait until, after I cover the other stuff in date order to let you know by sign how it affects you guys. So, but yeah, we do have a new moon in Taurus. We have it on May 4th. And, this is a new moon that is actually pretty well aspected by other planets. So I'm happy about that because you guys know the last couple of months, the last few months, we've had it's like we started the year with the lunar events being eclipses, right? We had like new moon eclipse, a full moon eclipse in January. And then I think February, March, and April, I think the new moons and full moons, they had like some challenging aspects to them, like from what I can remember. And then the new moon and full moon in May, they do not have challenging aspects. So I am so happy about that. It's a little bit more smooth this time around. Okay. So this new moon is being positively aspected by Saturn. So Saturn is retrograde, though. It is retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, and it's making a trine aspect to the moon, to the new moon in Taurus. That means the sun and moon come together. They come together in Taurus at 14 degrees of Taurus, and they birthed something brand new for us. So we'll get into what that is. But Saturn making an aspect to it, it wants you to solidify something. It wants you to really ground yourself in something for the long run. Long term plans can be made. Taurus energy, we love making plans, right? Taurus loves plans. It loves to set things, set intentions for things, and stick to them. Taurus energy is very much like that. For me, as a Taurus person, I have I have 4 planets and one major asteroid, which is Chiron, all in Taurus. And if I say I'm going to do something, I will do it. Even if I, have to push through and make it happen some kind of way, and it's not like exactly as promised, I'll still show up. I'll still do whatever it is. So Taurus energy is very much about sticking to things. So this new moon could be about like making a choice, making a decision, making a change, and sticking to that and being consistent and pushing through no matter what. And the aspect to Saturn definitely adds to that because Saturn is in Capricorn in its home sign, in its home element. This is also earth energy, which is about, hey, no matter what it takes, you do it, you get it done, you push through, you don't let anything stop you, get in your way. You don't let emotional stuff get in the way when it comes to Saturn's energy. Saturn doesn't really care for someone crying or someone saying, oh, well, this happened or that happened. Saturn's like, no excuses. Um, so, this is how we're going, this is the energy that we're going to be utilizing to develop something new within our lives. And it is in wherever Taurus is in your natal chart that this is going to be going on. And this new moon is also making a sextile, which is a very light aspect to the planet Neptune. And Neptune is about making your dreams come true. It is about dreams, the dreams that you have at night when you're asleep. But it is about, like, being a visionary, like envisioning things, imagining things. It's imagination, it's magic. That's Neptune. So there's a little bit of magic in this new moon, meaning you envision things, right? And they don't just stay in your head. Like Neptune energy and Pisces energy can mean things stay in your head. You're very much in your head and your feelings and daydreaming about stuff. And a lot of times you don't get those things out. But with there being earth energy involved, this is like you can dream up something and you can really manifest it. You can make it happen. You can stick to it. So that's the combination of energies that make up this new moon in Taurus. And I'm excited for it. We also have Uranus already in the sign of Taurus hanging out there. So it's not in a close vicinity to the new moon. I wouldn't say it's in a conjunction, but it's in the same sign. It's activating the same area of your life. So expect the unexpected, but still, like, try to stick to things. Like, you may have something pop up unexpectedly. Whoa, where did this come from? But you can still, like, commit to whatever it is or whomever it is. For some people, it lands in the relationship sectors. So we'll talk about that. But also, that's on May 4th. And then on May 5th, we have Mars in an opposition to Jupiter. And Mars is action. Jupiter is belief in things. And it is jumping and leaping towards things and having lots of faith and lots of optimism. So that's what this opposition can do. An opposition is a challenging aspect. So this is Mars and Jupiter opposing one another, maybe not always agreeing on what to do to take actions. But it can also cause some people to just, like, take a leap forward and not think of the consequences. It's one of those transits. We've already had Mars square Neptune this previous week that could have been, like, making us kind of go off track a little bit. I've heard I've had some friends message me and say, oh, I've kind of been a little lost this week, or I've not been able to focus as well, and that is definitely that Mars and Neptune energy. But now Mars is opposing Jupiter, which can be just saying, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and thinking that you can do this really big thing. But then it's like, when it comes down to it, it's like, oh, well, I forgot about this detail or that detail, or this thing that could set me back. Like, I forgot about that stuff. So this can mean that some people are just taking a huge leap of faith in this coming week. And for some people, maybe it does work out, and then for some people, maybe it's like, whoa, I should have looked before I jumped. I should have really looked at things more thoroughly before I made a decision. Why can't I ever say that word? Before I made a decision or performed a certain action, for example. But Mars and Jupiter energy, even though it's an opposition, yeah, it can be good for, like, if you are someone who normally just kind of remains stagnant, and you don't really take any risks, even risks that maybe could benefit you in some sort of way. Maybe it does make you take some kind of risk, and maybe something does work out for you, So that's on the 5th. And I would say, if you do any actions, like literally like physical actions, to be careful, because maybe you can have, say, for example, you used to be able to do a backflip, right? This is just an example. Say you used to be able to do a backflip like years ago, right? And around the day that Mars is opposing Jupiter, someone is daring you. Hey, I dare you to do a backflip like you used to do back in the day. and you're like, okay, yeah, I can do it. And you don't really prepare yourself, you don't stretch out, you don't practice, you don't, it's something you haven't done in a long time, but you just really believe you could do it. And then you try to do the backflip and then you get injured. That's what Mars opposing Jupiter reminds me of. It's like, um, yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's Mars and Jupiter opposition to me. So on the 6th, Mercury enters the sign of Taurus. So wherever I talk about the new moon in Taurus, whatever section of your life it is by sign, just remember that Mercury is going to be there as well. And Mercury will only be there for like a few weeks. I think on the 21st, yeah, it only goes in the sign of Taurus for 15 days. So on the 21st, it shifts out of Taurus. But for 2 weeks exactly, we have, hey, Mercury in Taurus. Speech and communication is Mercury. Skills of the hand is Mercury. And this means the text messages, the DMs, the emails, any way in which you communicate with others is Mercury. So, with that being said, Mercury being in Taurus is a lot more calm and serene than Mercury in Aries was. Mercury in Taurus is taking our time, communicating with people and taking our time and taking time to listen and actually really being like engaging with someone when we're in a conversation with them. Uh, Venus is ruled. I mean, sorry. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus is about harmony and balance. So when we have Mercury in a sign ruled by Venus, it is much more like cooperative with other people in some ways, as far as like listening, listening and speaking after someone. Um, Mercury in Taurus, our thoughts and communications could be based on our material world a lot more. That can mean our resources, our money, our finances, So that's what we'll be talking about. And then you know what? On the 8th, this is when Mercury is in a conjunction with Uranus. So, like I said, Mercury in Taurus is very calm and serene, but when it comes in contact with Uranus, oh, there can be some wackiness, some kookiness, uh, people just kind of saying whatever's on their mind. It doesn't, and having like less of a filter also is Uranus. So, I know some Mercury conjunct Uranus people and they curse a lot and they just say the most random things that come to whatever comes to their mind, they just blurt it out and say it. And Mercury conjunct Uranus can mean flashes of insight. You'll have flashes of insight into things. Uranus rules looking into the future. That's why it's one of the planets that can rule astrology, because it's like forecasting ahead and noticing trends and patterns is Uranus. So Mercury in a conjunction with that can have us all under that influence in some kind of way. But it can also have us like, yeah, just kind of in mad scientist mode, whether that's with really like creating something and looking at something, looking at things from like a scientific point of view in a way, where you're dissecting things and you're like, looking at things objectively, looking like down upon situations, not like looking down like you are beneath me, peasant, like not that type of way. I mean, like rising above a situation and utilizing only logic. That's Uranian energy. So Mercury in a conjunction with that, we're like, we're kind of picking things apart in a non-emotional way, and just trying to look at things scientifically, kind of. But Mercury conjunct Uranus can also bring a surprise of some sort. We do have this month Mercury conjunct Uranus, Venus conjunct Uranus. So there could be some sudden shocking maybe information that you find out. Someone tells you like, Taurus isn't really secrets, neither is Mercury or Uranus, but maybe you just like someone tells you something out of the blue that's a shock. So also this energy can be a little excitable and nervy, even though, like I said, Mercury and Taurus on its own is very calm, but it has to get past Uranus first before it gets to like, being more of like a comfy, chill Mercury. You know what I mean? So Yeah, I wonder what Mercury conjunct Uranus would be. Oh, one last thing. With Mercury and Uranus together, you guys, be very cautious when driving. This is one of those be careful when driving transits because Mercury is driving, Uranus is electrical, it's electricity. So it can be like electrical failure while driving, or um, it can mean that there's some sudden like impact or sudden shocks or something that has to do with driving. And also your devices, communication devices that are electronic, maybe they can have like some issues. So yeah. Okay. So that's what's mostly going on this week. A lot of energy in the sign of Taurus, some surprises, some newness because of the new moon. But now, speaking of the new moon, let me talk about it for all the signs and let you guys know what your horoscope is. Yeah, so let me just take a sip and I'll see what you guys are seeing in the chat as well. Then I'll do your horoscope for the new moon. Oh, thank you, my male Dorna, Dama. I can't really see. Um, oh, she asked, "Is that Prince on my wall?" Yes, it's Prince. You guys know, a lot of you guys who have followed me for a while, you know that Prince is like one of my all-time favorite people and one of my all-time favorite souls, you know, in the whole universe. So yes, that's Prince on my wall. It's a Purple Rain poster, but it's not like the album cover. Um, it's like a rare poster, I think. And actually, my oldest son picked it out and found it, you know, and I think he bought it for me. So yeah. Okay, he's like Prince is like a big inspiration of mine. Our natal charts are kind of similar too. So yeah, always got to have him. He has my back. Anyway, so let's get into the new moon in Taurus for all the signs, and I will be going in date order. I'm sorry, in order of the zodiac. And don't forget that this is for if your rising sign, sun sign, or moon sign is Taurus. The rising is the most accurate as far as timing, and the moon sign is very accurate too. The moon, I'm sorry, the sun sign is very accurate as well, and the moon sign is like emotionally, like your emotional feelings about things and perspective of things based on like how you feel, you know? All right. So for Aries people, we're going to start with Aries. So for Aries people, the new moon in Taurus, this is going to be in your second house. Okay, and it's making an aspect to Saturn in your 10th house. So there's something for Aries people that's developing and changing and brand new when it comes to money, how you make your money, how you earn your money. This is maybe your job, maybe something with your career because Saturn is in your career house. You know, and it ties into this new moon. So this is something that's maybe like a pay raise, um, something with your pay and your career can definitely change here. And it's something that you want to be long term because of the Saturn influence. Okay. Um, and maybe you are trying to secure yourself within your career. And so you're going to, if you work for yourself, maybe you're going to change your prices, for example. Actually, I know of an Aries who does work for themselves, and they said that they are changing their prices, their rates with the new moon. Totally makes sense because, you know, of the 10th house being activated and the second house as well. Some of you guys can be, yeah, maybe asking for more money within your job if you're an Aries person. Maybe some of you guys are just, you know, you're making a big shift in your career, and along with it just comes like some financial changes. But maybe you are wanting to build your own business, perhaps, or invest in a business, and therefore you're going to be saving money and budgeting it properly so that you can continue to build up there in that 10th house where Saturn is at. But yeah, there's definitely some money and finance stuff that's changing for Aries people. For some of you guys, it means maybe picking up a second job or maybe turning a hobby into a business, or a talent that you have, turning it into a way that you can make money. So yeah, there's definitely some money changes on the horizon for Aries. Let's see. Oh, they retracted their message. Somebody said something about yeah, some change with money. And I was going to ask you if you're an Aries, but you retracted your message. So never mind. All right. So yeah, it's a financial new moon for Aries. So yes, Aries people, plant the seeds so that they can grow. So you can manifest some great things with your finances. Maybe this is changing the way that you handle money in some kind of way too. Yeah. So next up is Taurus. If you're a Taurus rising, a Taurus sun, or a Taurus moon, the new moon is in your sign. So especially if your birthday is on or around the 4th of May, that it makes a big impact to have a new moon around your birthday or on your birthday. It really means that the year ahead, the solar year ahead, um, is very significant. It's very much like a life-changing year for you. So, oh, and happy birthday if you are a Taurus and your birthday is in the month of May. But yeah, a new moon in your first house can be anything. Anything goes, anything changes, anything that has to do with you, anything that is your identity, how you present yourself to the world, how the world knows you. You want to change. Maybe it can be something with your physical appearance too, because the first house does deal with that. That can mean you make a decision to work out, you make a decision to get a procedure done to change something. You want to change your wardrobe, something you want to change with yourself. That can mean maybe getting a piercing. I mean, anything for Taurus people. Now, this is making an aspect to Saturn in your ninth house. So maybe there's something with like your beliefs that are changing with Saturn up there, and it's closely tied into your identity, and who you are and how people know you, and you want to change that. Maybe your beliefs have changed and you want to let people know, like, I am no longer a part of blah, blah, blah. This maybe a group of people that, okay, like a religion. Maybe you're no longer a part of it, and it's no longer a part of you and your identity. But yeah, just a new moon in your sign alone. It is your personal new year, and maybe you can change something within you, anything within you. Um, Let me see. Someone said something about gaining weight. Well, yeah, you can possibly have some you can have some like changes to your weight. I guess that's possible with the new moon in your first house because it is the body. But yeah. Okay. So Taurus, this new moon is for you. It's in your sign. So whatever you want to manifest, whatever means a lot to you to make your dreams come true in life, definitely plant the seeds, set the intentions for that. That can mean with career, that can mean with just anything that really is closely tied into who you are. So, yeah. Okay. All right. So, yeah. What is it with, yeah, okay. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the time that I am on here, but yeah, people are pretty weird tonight. Maybe it's all the Aries energy. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so next up is Gemini. If you're a Gemini rising, a Gemini sun, or a Gemini moon, the new moon in Taurus is in your 12th house. And this has to do with like your spiritual side, the spiritual side of you, the side of you that is the one that like kind of takes time out, who you are when you're kind of alone, just isolated, and with no one else around. Who is that person? What goes on in your mind during that time? So there's a new beginning there, and that can mean more of an openness to spirituality, more like some sort of spiritual epiphany can possibly happen for Gemini people, like a realization about something, that ties into the fact that we are not just physical beings, we're also spirits and souls too. Um, Maybe some of you guys just become more open to that, Gemini. And also pay attention to your dreams around this new moon, because the 12th house does rule the dreams that we have and the messages that you can receive from beyond. Meaning, like, the spirit realm, loved ones that have passed on, ancestors, angels, whomever or whatever you believe in that's on, like, quote unquote the other side, that can deliver messages to you. Yeah, listen during this new moon. And also, when Mercury is in Taurus and Mercury conjunct Uranus, especially in this coming week, you can suddenly receive some sort of like insight into something that is is like is very intuitive. Like, you have to trust your intuition on things, and maybe that's what this new moon is also bringing to you in general, is more trust of your intuition. It is making an aspect to Saturn in your 8th house, and the 8th house is also a very emotional, watery area of your life. It has to do with your intuition and your ability to kind of, your instincts, pretty much, like your ability to pick up on other people's hidden motives and, their hidden desires, just things that people hide away. This could be a new moon where you guys actually have revelations of secrets that have been hidden, either by yourself revealing something, or others revealing things to you, Gemini. So that could be pretty interesting. But yeah, this is one that can, like, show a new beginning, that's like more openness to ways that you can tune out the world, healthy ways that you can tune out the world, and also, um, maybe getting rid of some kind of addiction of some sort, some unhealthy way of escaping, and making way for newer, healthier ways. For some of you guys, it can mean that. So next up is Cancer. So if you're a Cancer sun, rising, or moon, then the new moon in Taurus is going to affect your 11th house, which is the groups of friends that you hang out with. And it does aspect Saturn in your 7th house. 7th house of relating one-to-one with other people. So with that being said, this is your social life being affected for Cancer people. Maybe there's a new beginning with, this is groups and organizations, associations, networks. That's all the 11th house. So maybe some of you guys maybe decide to leave a group or disassociate yourself from a group or friendship or group of friends, and maybe you find a new one to join forces with. And it can deal with partnership and one-to-one relationships because of the aspect to Saturn in the 7th house. 7th house energy does deal with one-to-one relationships. That can mean, like romantic ones, or even just like collaborating and partnering with people on some stuff. So the new moon, it does bring some changes there. Maybe you guys, if you've been affiliated with a group for so long, maybe it's like you say, peace, it's time for me to leave. This doesn't really resonate with me anymore. I, am a different person now. Or maybe it's like you do find, I call the 11th house your fellow aliens, people that like things that are unique. And like you, it's like your uniqueness, maybe unique, quirky things that you're into. And then you find other people that are into the same things, and it's like, oh my gosh, I found my people. I found some people that are just as like different as I am, or weird as I am. So that's the 11th house. So there's a new beginning there. Maybe you do meet new friends, and you're like, I can really build with these people, because the moon aspect Saturn, and Saturn is about building for the long run. So maybe you're like, I can build with these people. I can build, a network with them, and we can really get some cool things going, and we can reach a lot of people with whatever our cause or our hobby or whatever our talent is that we share in common. Yeah, we can get together. We can collaborate, which is the 7th house, and we can build something pretty awesome and reach lots of people. Maybe help lots of people. 11th house energy is very humanitarian in nature. Um, so yeah, it's something to do with that for Cancer people. New beginnings with friendships, definitely. Okay. Um, man, there's just like, okay, lots of trolls. Oh my gosh, lots of trolls today. I don't know if it's just the fact that there's so much energy in Aries. Oh, hey, what's up, Tyra? Mm, Tyra, what are you doing up so late, girl? Or is it early where you're at? I'm sure it's like both, early and late, right? But thanks for coming through and rocking with me. Okay, so next up is Leo. So if you're a Leo rising, Leo sun, or Leo moon, then this new moon in Taurus is in a very important place for you. It's in your house of career. So there's a new beginning with career, and it does aspect Saturn in your sixth house of work. So work and career. Okay. Um, so yeah, work and career, something new developing there, something that you're trying to solidify and have be long term. So um, this can be that you are planting the seeds for some new developments within career, like a promotion, perhaps. Maybe just switching your job, your duties that you do. Yeah, it's some kind of change there. So some of you guys may hear some news if you've been waiting on news of like whether or not you got promoted, whether or not um, you got a job, like in general. Some Leos could be like really on the job search right now during Taurus season, and this new moon can bring like that final phone call or email that you've been waiting for that says you've been accepted. Maybe you've been working really, really hard on like just whatever job that you do, doing the same thing all the time. You know what I'm saying? And then um, because the sixth house is like day to day things that you do, and I always call it the hamster wheel, and it's day in and day out, day in and day out. You do the same things, or it's like really working on something, working on something, working on something, all the time, right? And you don't always see the results of it. You just continue working and working and working. That's the sixth house. That's where Saturn's at. And then the 10th house is like it's earning a title. It is it's like being a really big deal, you know. It's like, hi, my name is Leo and I am a CEO of the blah 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 blah. Like that's the 10th house, okay? Like feeling important because you have a certain title. So maybe you've been really working hard at your job. Maybe you've had bosses on your butt, you know, micromanaging, and you're like, oh, sir, yes, sir, ma'am, yes, ma'am, you know, going dealing with all this annoying stuff, right? But still pushing through. And then maybe you are rewarded with the new moon in your 10th house of career with, you know, bumping up some kind of way, and feeling like, yes, you know what? This isn't just my job. This isn't just my duty that I do every day. This is my career. This is like a title that means a lot to me, you know? So, yeah, maybe that's something that can go on for Leo people. Or maybe you decide to switch careers, leave a career behind to start a new one. For some of you guys, it could mean that as well. But yeah, new moon in the 10th, and you know, Saturn in the sixth house of work. Yes. So it really is a good new moon for Leos. Hopefully, I hear about my Leo people getting promoted, getting recognized, getting rewarded, and awarded great things within your job and your career. So bravo, Leo. Maybe you guys get a pat on the back, a good job, you know, win some sort of prestigious award for a job well done, something like that. Okay. So next up is Virgo. So if you're a Virgo, sun, rising, or moon, this new moon in Taurus is happening in your ninth house. Ninth house, it deals with beliefs, like your ability to believe in tomorrow, your ability to believe in a brighter day, your ability to keep things moving along even when times are tough, and have just an optimistic attitude. You know, that's ninth house energy. Ninth house, when we see big changes that happen in the ninth house, it's usually something to do with your education, and maybe that can mean training, training for something, like training for a job, It can deal with actual education, like going to school, attending school of some sort. Working underneath someone that is very knowledgeable, that you would like to learn their skills, their skill set, and have it be your own. That's also the ninth house. So there's something new that you guys are doing there. For some of you guys, maybe it is graduation. This is graduation season, the month of May. Some people are completing cycles with schooling during this time of year. So for a lot of Virgo people, maybe it is like a really big graduation that you guys are going to have, or promotion, like schooling promotion. Um, for some of you guys, maybe it's like the decision to travel somewhere or do something exciting that you've never done before. Just be a little bit more bold, like just kind of jump at opportunities a little bit more. You maybe start seeing life from that perspective with this new moon, especially in regards to business because of the aspect to Saturn and Capricorn, or maybe even with what makes your heart happy and make you feel like you're having a lot of fun. That's the fifth house where Saturn is at. And Saturn can kind of stunt, like put a stop to fun stuff sometimes, be a fun snatcher. um, but like when it's in the fifth house of fun, Saturn, the old grump, in the fifth house of fun. Yeah. So, but he can be making you work on stuff like that, like work on allowing yourself to open up and have fun like a child sometimes, and not worry about what anyone thinks, and just be confident and work on your confidence and work on your self-esteem. Saturn in the fifth house can do that for you as well, not just dry it up and snatch all the fun away. And the aspect that is making to the new moon in the ninth house. Ninth house is also excitement and fun and adventurousness too. So you could be really just opening yourself up to those things. And maybe it is hard work for you to do that, for you to open up and allow yourself to be more playful and adventurous and daring, but this new moon can bring out that side, and help you to realize, that you do need to be like that in life sometimes, and not just so rigid and like cut and dry and following the rules all the time like a robot. It's not always about that. Life isn't always about that, I mean. So maybe there's something that you have like an epiphany with this new moon that helps you to see that. um but yeah, it can also be, something to do with travel, something to do with school, that there's a new beginning with. Okay, so next up is Libra. If you're a Libra rising, a Libra sun, or a Libra moon, the new moon in Taurus is in your eighth house. So this has to do with intimacy. Maybe there's a new beginning within an existing relationship to where you open up to them on a more intimate level, or they open up to you. And you guys just really get to know each other very personally. Very personally is the eighth house. Um, a new moon in the eighth can have something to do with finances too, but it's more like finances that you receive financial support from others, either from individuals or from like companies or corporations, meaning you borrow money, like you have a loan or you have a credit card or something. It could be loans and debts and stuff. Like Libra, the eighth house can mean that. So a new moon there could be clearing out loans and debts. Maybe you're paying some stuff off finally after a long time. New moon in the eighth, yeah, it can also mean that there's like a new situation that comes up to where you do receive a lot of support. Maybe it's from family because this is making an aspect to Saturn in the fourth house of family. So maybe there's something that you're like, you know what, I can't do this on my own. I really do need financial help. I hate to admit it, but I do. And you turn to your family, and maybe they could be a little strict and a little stingy about things because of Saturn there in your fourth house. Like, well, you know what? We'll help you out, but you got to know that this is, only a one-time thing, or this is not going to be something that you could do all the time. You still have to learn how to be self-sufficient, Libra, not codependent upon us as your family members. So that's something that can come up for you guys. Maybe you figure out a way to make more passive income. in order to help you to build more in your personal life and in your home life. So that's something that can come up as well. Um, New moon in the eighth house is other sources of income, like if you receive anything from the government or you receive like insurance or and stuff like that, just benefits in general. So there's a newness there. Maybe you're renewing your benefits, renewing your will, um, you know, developing something new there in the realm of joint finances and financial support. So next up is Scorpio. So if you are a Scorpio rising, sun or moon, the new moon in Taurus is in your seventh house, which is relationships. Scorpio has so much crazy stuff going on with relationships this month in May. Let me tell you, the month has just begun, and I am a Scorpio rising, and I'm not gonna spill all the tea. Actually, let me take a sip of tea and try not to spill too much of it. Okay, hold on. Okay, but as a Scorpio rising, let me tell you already what has been going on and developing while there's been Taurus energy active in our seventh house of relationships. Okay, so I've had an ex try to come back already. I've had an ex contact me out of the blue after they disappeared to clear the air with me and apologize. I've had a favorite rapper of mine message me and hit on me, which was kind of awkward. um, I've had somebody that I've just met out of the blue that we just clicked right away. And but then like the sparks kind of fizzled out fast too. All of this stuff going on within a week. And this is because of Uranus in the seventh house of relationships for Scorpios. So it's been pretty crazy, but it's been exciting and it's been a roller coaster. And just trust me, Scorpios, that's going to continue. But first, the new moon could be clearing out, not only bringing something new, like a new relationship, a new boo or something, but it can be a clearing out of like remin. What's the word I'm looking for? Like any old like pieces of older relationships that are still like hanging around within your energy field, within your world. That can mean literally you have material things and that belong to or remind you of an old relationship. If you have stuff like that hanging around, new moons are new, but it can also be you got to clear that stuff out in order to plant seeds in a fertile ground for things to grow. So maybe there's like some things that have to be cleared. Like you literally, like I said, someone contacted me to remnants. Thank you. I want to say that word, but I was like, I don't know if that's the right word. Residual energy being released. Thank you so much, Alyssa. And thank you so much for being here, Alyssa. Alyssa is she's one of my ride or die followers. Thank you, Alyssa. Yeah, so that's what I meant, you guys. It's late where I'm at, so the words are not always coming to me so quickly. But yes, you have to kind of clear some of that out in order to allow new relationships to grow and to cultivate, Scorpio. Okay, so that's what that can mean. But yeah, just even though we're having wild roller coaster rides, Scorpio, we can still have something new and maybe something kind of solid. And the key thing is communication with the aspect to Saturn in our third house. It is helping us work on communication and speaking up and speaking out. I talked about this a little bit last week about Saturn being in the third for Scorpios because water signs are very intuitive and we tend to be in our own heads a lot. And we can pick up on other people's thoughts and feelings and energy and stuff. And we always expect others to do the same with us, but not everybody is so in tune with their intuition to where they can do that. And some people are more verbal and vocal. And, that's a lesson that we water signs are learning, but in particular, Scorpios, we're learning that, right? So that ties into the new moon in our relationship house, the aspect from Saturn in the communication house. So if you really want to have some great new partnerships develop, you got to develop those communication skills a little more. Number one. Number two, you got to get rid of the old residual energy, as Alyssa said, from previous relationships. you got to release them some sort of way. It's hard, Scorpio. I know we hang on to stuff. We hang on to people so tightly, like we cling so tightly, but got to do it if you want the new. Okay. All right. So that's for Scorpio. Next up is Sagittarius. So if you're a Sag rising, sun, or moon, um, let's see. The new moon in Taurus is in your sixth house of work. So for some of you guys, this can mean this is a new job, but maybe you have to let go of an old one first. Okay. So maybe it could be the universe pushing you out of an old job. Like I have a Sag rising friend, and as soon as the sun went into Taurus and in a conjunction with Uranus, the company they were working for went out of business, or it like the place they were working at is shut down out of the blue, and they had just gotten promoted at that job like not too long before that, and it's like they got promoted, then it shut down. That's so Uranian, right? So because of that, they were left jobless and kind of stressing out. So this new moon in the sixth could be a new job, a new beginning. Maybe that the time was up. Their experience, they gained enough experience there. The universe said, okay, all right, time for something new. Let's clear this old job out. And they're left hanging and like, oh my God, with anxiety, but fear not, it's divine timing. So yeah, Sag, it could be a new job being cleared away an old job being cleared away in order to make room for a new one. Some of you guys, it can mean a new beginning within an existing job that you have. So maybe it is like a promotion at a job, or like you switch duties, you switch departments, you switch branches or locations. Yeah. So, okay. Trip to, oh my gosh. No, that is not true. It is very late where I am, and I've had a very long day, but I'm being a true Taurus and still sticking to my guns. And no matter what time it is or how long of a day I've had, I am still here. That's what Tauruses will say. I'm still here. We could be beaten down, barely moving, but we'll be like, I made it. I made it, you guys. I made it. So yes, that is the answer to what Tryptamine God is saying. Yeah. It's just that it's like super duper late where I'm at, but still working. Okay. All right, guys. So yeah, speaking of working, Sagittarians, hold tight. If you have been job searching, job hunting, you want to switch jobs for some reason, fear not, because this new moon can definitely bring one to you. So yeah. Also, it could be with health for Sagittarians. Maybe you guys have a new beginning there and you decide to change your diet. This is making an aspect to Saturn in your second house. Second house is money. So Saturn doesn't make it easy wherever it's at. So it is kind of making it difficult for Sagittarius to earn money while Saturn's in that house. And then it's aspecting the job, new moon in the job sector. So maybe the new job, if you do get a new job, Sagittarius, maybe it doesn't pay as well as you want it to, but it's something that you can stay at for a long time and climb the ladder, of success at this job, this company or whatever. You may have to start out kind of low in pay, but maybe there's great benefits, or maybe there's a lot of opportunity for advancement over time. You just have to be patient with that Saturn there. But also with health and diet and stuff, new moon in the sixth can bring that, and also the aspect to Saturn in the second. Second house could be what you consume, So some of you guys are changing your diets. You are becoming vegan or vegetarian or keto or anything, whatever those dietary labels are, or you have to follow a very strict regimen. Yeah, some Sagittarius are deciding to do that too. All right, guys. So next up is Capricorn. If you're Cappy rising, sun or moon, the new moon in Taurus is in your fifth house. So a new beginning with romantic relationships for some of you guys. Maybe you decide to leave behind a dating situation in order to welcome in new ones, or one new one at least. You know what? this is the house of dating. So yeah, maybe you guys do meet someone new. You've got all this energy hanging out in Taurus this month. You've got the planets coming in contact with Uranus, which can bring some surprises in your fifth house this month. Mercury and Uranus, Venus and Uranus. Oh my. So yeah, the new moon is supporting all of that, like some newness with dating. So, but yeah, maybe you do have to let go of some remnants of old dating situations. I can think of two Cappy risings that I know that this definitely applies to. One is still hanging on to an old relationship, and it's really not going to go anywhere for them to do that. The other one, yeah, they are maybe, I think they're just, they're in a solid relationship, but they're kind of craving something new. So I would suggest to them to, hey, get the sparks going, get the romance going, start dating your long-term partner again. Not just like, oh yeah, let's go out to dinner real quick and okay, then let's get back to. No, I'm talking about dating. Like you guys go out, you dress up, you get excited about where you're going, like when you first met. Some of you guys, this is a newness that's brought to an existing solid relationship that's what you have to do. You have to date your partner again, date your husband or wife or whomever again, to bring it back, to be fun again. For some of you guys, this is a new beginning in regards to children. Maybe your relationship with children, with your own children. There's something new there. Some of you guys, it can mean like pregnancy or birth or something is coming up for you. This is making an aspect to Saturn in your first house. So it could be something to do with your appearance and your self-esteem and your confidence. Maybe it's nothing to do with other people. It's just something within you. Like you have to have the confidence to show off your talents and to not, be discouraged if you don't always get an applause for things. You should still be happy with yourself. Saturn in the first house is working on the self in all areas. It's not just your appearance, your physical body, working on the self. The fifth house is like the self-esteem, the self being put out there. You know what I mean? Like confidently. So it's about being center stage and having the spotlight on you. What are you gonna do? You're gonna freeze up, be like a deer in headlights, or you're gonna be like, hey, what's up, everybody, and just work that spotlight, work that stage. Okay, so that's what that could be about for Capricorns too. More self-development so that you can be confident. So next up is Aquarius. So if you're an Aquarius rising, sun, or moon, the new moon in Taurus is in your fourth house. And this has to do with roots, family, home, where you feel comfortable and secure. So some of you guys can be moving. All this Taurus energy that we have this month in May, some of you Aquarius can be moving. Or if you're staying where you're at, this is like working hard to make sure that it is a place that you feel comfortable and you want to be at for the long run and for a long time. A new moon in your fourth house, yeah, it can mean like maybe you sell a home, maybe you get a call back that says that you've been approved for a new home. Maybe it's like, approval to your credit and check went through so you can rent a house, whatever your situation is. Yeah, you could be changing your living situation pretty much. Okay, Lisa says that she's an Aquarius getting ready to move. Hey, so she's kind of proving it right there. This can be a new beginning within your family life, like relationships with family. Maybe there needs to be a renewal. Maybe you've had a falling out with some family members, and now it's like time to kind of, do something about that to make things better, make things right, clear out some old feelings that you have, maybe grudges that you've held for a long time, because this is making an aspect to Saturn in your 12th house, which is the house of letting go. It's old karma that you need to release. It's cycles. Completing is the 12th house. So this can be completing an emotional cycle. You gotta let go, out with the old and with the new, right? And then as a result of that, you can be a more emotionally healthy person. This is, I know Aquarius is not the most emotional sign, and they like to look at things from a perspective of logic more than emotion. But this new moon is definitely going to bring some things to light, definitely illuminate things for you that has to do with your emotions. So, but yeah, just on a basic level, Aquarius, you could be moving. You could be moving. Um, and let's see, artistic says, you hope so. You can't stand your country town. Your in-laws can't handle the truth. Yeah, so you've got some family issues and you would like to move. If you're an Aquarius, it's very much possible that you could be moving with this new moon, or it's just like, realizing something about where home truly is for you. And that can mean, okay, I don't feel at home here. I want to move somewhere else. Or, you know what? I've decided that this, where I'm at, is home, and I'm going to do things to improve it and make it better, and let go of anything from the past that affects me emotionally to where I don't feel comfortable where I'm at. Let's see. Lisa says, yeah, Aqua here. Old karma with the biological family completing. You're moving out. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there's an Aquarius kind of proving it right there of what the new moon can bring for you guys. It could be emotional. It could be about family. It could be about your home. So last is Pisces. So for your Pisces rising, sun, or moon, the new moon in Taurus is in your third house, which deals with communication. It does make an aspect to Saturn in your 11th house, which is groups of friends and organizations that you belong to, perhaps like fitting. Maybe there's something to do with fitting in within a group. Fitting in, finding those groups of people that you really click with, and you guys understand each other, and you represent the same things. You fight for the same causes. Perhaps you have the same hobbies. Something with that is there with Saturn in the 11th, and it aspects the new moon in the third house, which is speaking, writing, communication, media work, vlogging, blogging, writing articles. All of that is third house stuff. Some of you Pisces people could actually be working on something to where you're using your voice, you're communicating out there into the world, which is the 11th house of like the internet, social media, reaching large masses of people all at one time. It's not just friendships, it's that too, your online presence, or even networking, like in person, like going to group events like conventions or webinars, or seminars, maybe even webinars. Yeah. And the third house deals with skills. So speaking of webinars, maybe you guys are wanting to take some little classes, to learn or relearn some skills that you have. With the new moon in the third, you may decide to do that, to pick up a new skill, perhaps, for some Pisces people. What else with the new moon in the third? Maybe there's something to do with your vehicles or how you like your transportation that you want to change. Maybe some Pisces are getting a new car, or, you're going to take an alternative method of transportation from here on out. There's something that may change with that. Pisces sun, who has always spoke to issues of social justice. Yeah, 11th house energy is social justice, and third house energy is speaking. So maybe some of you Pisces are actually doing things like that with this new moon. Like there's something new that develops. Maybe there's like some social justice stuff that really concerns you, and then the new moon in the third is like communicating about it. Excuse me, maybe putting it out via some sort of like media or social media, just speaking out. Yes. Okay. Da, 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 da. You're currently facing your fear to put your voice out and start writing and blogging. Yeah. And you're a Pisces, Lena, I'm assuming. Yeah. You know what? My moon sign is Pisces, and I've decided to start doing a little more creative writing, sharing more of my creative writing and poetry that has to do with some very emotional stuff, but just expressing it more and turning it into art and putting it out there on the internet. And it is difficult, Pisces energy. We could be very shy and reserved and, in our own heads, but it's like getting things out of your own head and believing in it, and yeah, sharing it with the world in some sort of way. Um, Tyra says she's in the midst of working on her online presence. Yay! Tyra has a YouTube channel. You guys should go check her out. She has a wealth of information that's like very spiritually based as well. It's a little bit different. Some astrology stuff she definitely does, but there's some other really neat spiritual stuff that she does. So go check her out. And yeah, hopefully you do build your online presence. Yay! Because she is a Pisces sun sign. Excuse me. So yeah, communication, media, online, social media. You're working on a lot of stuff with that for Pisces people, or just if you don't do any of that, Pisces, it's just like speaking out more, using your voice more. Okay, so that's it, you guys. That's it for the horoscope for this week of May 3rd to May 10th of 2019. Thank you guys for rocking with me. I know it's super late, and it does show. I could tell with my eyes. My eyes are also heavy because I'm wearing these lashes that are heavier. And so my eyes have looked like this the whole entire night. Like it makes my eyes look heavier. So I think I'm gonna not wear these anymore. But yeah, so thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you have a great weekend and a great week. Happy new moon in Taurus to you guys. And yeah, many blessings to you guys. And I will see you guys next week. All right, peace out. And next week I'll have a celebrity topic. I promise. I promise I will come back next week and have some celebrity stuff. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments, so that I can come back and talk about something that you guys are really, really interested in. Okay, love you guys. Peace.